Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Streaker Sports. I'm Clark. Garrett's with me. Say hey, Garrett.
Hello.
We're back with another sports review. It was an action-packed weekend, great weekend for football. I think last night was a great night for football as well. Rams Chiefs. What did you watch the game, Garrett?
Yes, I did watch the game. I was drinking some whiskey, grilling out on the grill, so that was good.
So let's get right into it. Rams Chiefs last night, beautiful game. I got drunk on it. I wasn't even drinking. I got drunk on the football. Loved it. What do you think, Garrett?
Yeah, I enjoyed the game. It stressed me out a lot actually, so I didn't enjoy it as much because my whole fantasy was riding on that last night. So yeah,
Believe it or not, that was something I want to talk about too. Heading into last night's game, I was down about 50 points.
yep. I was down more than that. I was down 70.
Came back, won it by maybe I think it was under 20, but I thought about it, and I think it's time to be the bigger man. And Todd Gurley, I'm gonna forgive you. All right, you may have point shaved that one week. This time, I don't care, man. I'm gonna put that aside. We can be friends now. All right, I forgive you.
Well, Tyreek Hill did it for me. He put up 44 points, but
Oh yeah, I had him on the team. I had Kelsey, Gurley, and I didn't even want to start the LA defense.
yeah.
They ended up dropping me over 20 points.
Well, you had Mr. MVP throw that terrible throw there at the end for another pick. I'm sorry, that's just a rookie quarterback panicking on a throw.
But he was under pressure. He was in a situation
He
where he was
was.
trying to win the game.
He was, but
I
this
thought
is
he
my
I thought he just
devil's advocate to everybody saying that he deserves MVP this year. That is me doing that.
I thought like he just didn't have the arm strength to make that final throw, but watching it again, he got hit while he was throwing.
Watching from behind, he was off the whole way. That ball was 10 feet to the left.
I'll give him credit.
I'm just saying, I will not, and I have not hopped on the Patrick Mahomes bandwagon MVP train.
I can agree. I don't think he deserves it. I mean,
no, he's doing great, but he does not deserve it.
well, I think people are arguing that he deserves it because he came onto the scene so quickly and he just kind of blew up and nobody was really expecting it.
Okay,
I think that plays a part in why they want him to be MVP, but I don't believe that. I mean,
they want to give things for a lot of stupid reasons.
I guess
I'm not
I guess
taking
that
anything
could be
away
true.
from him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I think he's great. I think Chiefs stand a really good chance at. I would say going to the Super Bowl.
They're gonna do well. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm not gonna get on my rant. But
Some of the notes that I had last night, that first half, it wasn't that great. There was a lot of flags. It seems like the Chiefs were getting flagged almost every play.
yeah, I missed the first half, so I did not get to see that.
The Chiefs secondary was just getting exposed. They're really targeting Skandrick. And
Mhm.
it seems like every time they threw the ball, there was a pass interference or a defensive holding. So
Yeah.
the first half took a while. When they adjusted well in the second half, so because they started to figure out that, yeah, they're really going to try to go deep on us, throw the ball on us. Because Todd Gurley, he wasn't used a whole lot. And looking back, it doesn't surprise me because the Chiefs' weakness, I would say, is their secondary. Their secondary kind of bounced back in the second half, and they didn't get as many pass interference and defensive holding calls. They kind of adjusted to how the refs were calling it. And, I give them props for that. That's a sign of a pretty good defense.
Speaking of you saying that Gurley wasn't used a whole lot there, somebody last night that really didn't step up for him either, though. They still pulled up to win, but was Robert Woods.
He made a few catches here and there.
He did. And he got a touch. I mean, he did some.
He got his touches.
He didn't. I think step up like he could have there at the end. I was watching him, and it almost seemed like it may have been me. It didn't seem like he was really going at it 110%.
Well, I think another person that stepped up last night was that Reynolds for the Rams. They're saying he's going to take the spot of Cooper Kupp now.
Yeah, he had six receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
so.
I think he stepped up. Not mind blowing, but something still pretty good enough to get him the win.
I mean, he was definitely getting more. He was catching more than Robert Woods. Robert Woods last night he had 11 targets but only 4 catches.
Yeah, but he was probably also getting guarded by the
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
number one, number two DB.
Mm-hmm.
But did you hear some of Booger talking last night?
No, him on his little cart. Was he on his cart last night?
No, he
I,
wasn't.
I didn't think so. I was watching it out in the garage on my system of my phone hooked up to a speaker, but I didn't see his little cart rolling around the field.
No, he wasn't mobile last night. But man, some of the things he was saying was just cracking me up.
I don't think I pay attention. I'm usually just watching the game. Sometimes he says some stuff that I don't
Yeah.
understand.
So one of my favorite things he was doing, he was like calling people out that were watching the games, like, "Oh, you young pass rushers out there, take note of this," and like, "All you young QBs, all you young DBs." I was just waiting for him to say, like, all you future general managers, all you future officials, take note of this." And oh, dude, he was cracking me up. And Jason Witten was doing really bad. Like it was a bad night for Jason Witten. But I saw a lot of people ripping on Booger on Twitter and such. But I enjoyed it very much. I thoroughly enjoyed
One thing,
hearing Booger.
things that they do, it just cracks me up. And last night wasn't so much. It just made me think of they were talking about most points scored in like a Monday night football game, then third most points scored in any game. I don't understand what kind of book they have up there of information, but like if you ever listen to a game, they will be like at some point in that game, well, this is the most points scored by two teams on a real grass field since 1970. I'm like, what book did you find these records they set? Like sometimes their records are just like ridiculous. I'm like, how did you find them? You ever notice that?
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, why are you even keeping that stat? Like,
Like
I don't think.
most touches by a running back from a team wearing red
Yeah,
in December. I'm like, what?
I don't understand how those
Who's flipping
stats
to the book
pertain.
looking?
Yeah, like I don't see how those stats are like important, or I don't even know why they would keep a stat like that.
I know, but it just cracks me up.
But I cashed out pretty good on that over. It was an easy one. They almost had it at halftime.
Yeah. I should have. I did not. Did I have that
I think the
one?
over closed at 63.5, and they scored over 100, so it was real nice.
Yeah, when we get to that, I've got one that came in very clutch.
So let's go on to the next one. Bears Vikings. Bears won 25-20. It was a pretty good game. But I got some deja vu from this Bears team. All right,
Okay.
if you think back to the last couple of years of the NFL, and who does this Bears team remind you of? Just off the bat, don't even think about it.
Well, if I'm not thinking, I have nothing right now.
Do they remind you a lot of the last year's Jaguars by chance? Really great defense, mediocre offense.
I guess so. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I mean,
No,
two mediocre quarterbacks, I would say, Trubisky and Bortles. Some okay running backs. Jordan Howard equals like Leonard Fournette. I think it's giving me like a good.
Honestly, though, I
It
wouldn't even give a
resembles
lot of
last
that
year's
credit.
Jags.
I don't. Yeah, but for them this year too, you've got Cohen, who's been doing a lot of work for them, especially that game. I think for their backfield, he deserves a lot of credit, especially his last 4 or 5 games. He's stepped up a lot.
Yeah,
Nothing against Howard, but
I would
he
say
has
Cohen's.
really.
If I could make a comparison, I would say that Howard and Cohen are similar to Kamara and Ingram in New Orleans. Like Howard is Ingram, good runner, like downhill runner, power back, while Cohen is sort of like Kamara, where like he's a threat, like catching the ball or running the ball to bust one big,
Yeah, Tariq is definitely a big threat on catching the ball. He usually, when I've got him, scores all his, a lot of his fantasy points off receptions.
But
There's a good back combination right there.
But an interesting stat from this game, well, just for the Vikings in general, Kirk Cousins, his record versus teams that are above 500 is now, I think, 4-20. So he is. It shows that he feeds off teams that are, not winning a lot of games, and I think that helps pad his stats. And honestly, I don't think he's that good. I mean, if you look at him Sunday night, most of his yards and touchdowns came in garbage time when the game was most likely already out of hand.
I don't know. I wouldn't agree with that. I think Kirk Cousins is able to. I think he's able to move the ball. I don't think you're giving him enough credit there.
I'm not buying into the Kirk Cousins hype.
I don't think it's been a hype. I think he's always been a solid quarterback. This isn't like a new thing. This isn't the Patrick Mahomes rookie year. Woo, he needs the MVP when there's more, deserving candidates out there that haven't got it before, that have done more things than he's done by far, and don't collapse under pressure. I would say the Kirk Cousins thing is more of he's a solid quarterback, usually in and out. He may not be great, he may not be with the best teams, but he's able to move the ball.
Would you classify him as like more of the Alex Smith type, like a game manager more than like a field general? Like he's not making huge throws and stuff and putting up huge numbers a game. He's just kind of managing it and carrying out the team's game plan. Like he does.
I guess that makes you between
he just keeps trying to get first downs to advance the ball, and
that makes you the difference between a great quarterback and a good quarterback is one, who you have with you and what you're able to do with who you have on your team. So you have to look at who he's got. He's got Diggs and stuff, and Thielen, but he's not always surrounded by a whole slew of some of the best backs and receivers out there.
I guess that is true.
As he moves around and stuff, he doesn't always have it, but I think he's able to do what he can on the field, and make the chains move.
But flipping it over, I think if the Bears want to be a playoff contender, they need to do something with that offense. I don't know if it's changing the scheme of the offense or what, but they definitely need some help. Their defense is, I think, the number one scoring defense in the league, but you can't count on your defense to score you most of your points in a game.
No, absolutely not. That's not possible. It is, but
yeah. So I think they need to figure something out to do to better use Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if that's maybe run some option plays with him, getting him scrambling off play action boots. I'm not sure.
Yeah, as it came out today, anymore, is he injured? Is he going to play this week? Are they sure? Unsure? Have you seen? I thought last I saw they were unsure if he'd play.
I'm not sure. I would assume he's playing.
Oh, I thought because
I haven't really seen anything on him.
Give me just a second here. Cautiously optimistic.
What kind of answer's that?
The other one was Bears likely to be without Mitch Trubisky on Thursday.
Yeah, true. They do play on Thanksgiving, so it's a really short week for them.
Mm-hmm. Quick turnaround. So,
you know who their backup is? Does the article say that?
Let me check for us. Veteran backup Chase Daniels. He's got a 2-year deal there with them.
Chase Daniels. I feel like
he played for under Nagy for 3 seasons in Kansas City.
All right, so I feel like he has a good fit for the system. That could be interesting because I think the Lions are coming in. They're probably feeling hot off a win over the Panthers.
Oh yeah,
I'm not sure I'm going to play that one.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So moving on, we're going to throw it back to last Thursday. Seahawks Packers. Seahawks came out with a win. Oh, yeah. Okay. Packers were up, and then I think we all saw it. I think you would agree, McAdams. Aaron Rodgers choked.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that statement.
And I think we saw, but I think I said something about this a few episodes ago. I think the Seahawks team, I think I talked about how they would kind of morph into a run-heavy team now that they got Chris Carson back. I think we really saw that because Packers punted the ball with 5 minutes left, and the Seahawks managed to run the ball enough that they just ran out the clock with 5 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely going to say that when I was looking at the stats and stuff, too, that they were so much more run-heavy than, by far, leaps and bounds over the Packers.
Yeah.
Packers here rocking, Aaron Jones, 11 carries and 40 yards and a touchdown. Then you got Jamal Williams for 1 for 5, and then Aaron Rodgers 3-yard scramble. But yeah, they were just by far, they had one, Carson was 83, Penny 46, Davis 26, Wilson 17. So with 5, so they had their rushing was by far a lot better.
Mm-hmm. And I could see the Seahawks squeezing in the playoffs now. That was a rather impressive game to me.
Oh yeah, and I think the Packers are gonna have to try to figure something out if they plan on doing anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying Rodgers is a bad player. I
don't think it's him at all per se.
He made some really great throws that night. Like the deep balls he was throwing, beautiful. All right, but he gets in that pressure situation, 3rd and 2, and throws it at his receiver's feet on a flat. That's not good. There's something wrong.
Well, we're always gonna have some things like that, but I think the overall picture where they could have made some leaps and bounds is just the coaching for Green Bay. I know we've said that before.
Oh yeah, I think McCarthy's on the hot seat. I think this. I
Oh,
think it would be
he's
fair to
more than on the
say.
hot seat.
Yeah, I
His
think
ass
I
is
think it's
burning.
yeah. The seat is on fire. Fair to say. He may like, it would resemble sitting in hell.
Yeah, he's got a. I don't know what his coaching strategy is, but it's not working.
It's probably lean on Rodgers and hope for a win.
That's exactly what it is. But they're like, it's a whole lot. He needs more options. They need, options in, the routes. They need more guys. Who's his dump guy? Who's he getting the ball to if they're under pressure? Not let Rodgers out there wing it out and see how far he can throw it.
But I have a theory.
God damn it.
No,
Here we go.
This is a good one. So, the NFC North a couple of years ago, I don't think it was that good. It wasn't that great, right? I think this could have been McCarthy's strategy the whole time, and now that the NFC North is a really good division now, so I think that his strategy just isn't working anymore. It could have been the strategy he had for a long time, and as we see the
Playing
NFC
against
North,
as the Bears are better this year and stuff, kind of that.
yeah,
Before it worked good enough.
Vikings are okay, Bears are good, Lions are, middle of the pack, and used to the Packers would just blow all of them out and go to the playoffs. I don't think that works anymore.
It's a solid enough theory.
It makes sense. So we'll stay in the NFC North for the next one. Lions, Panthers. Panthers lose by 1, 20-19. Did you see the final when the Panthers decided to go for 2 to win the game, McAdams?
Yep, they were just trying to win. I know. He said it. We're going for the win. Well, that didn't came out. You came out with the loss, so yeah, I saw that.
Well, I think the Panthers had momentum going into that because they were down. They scored that touchdown.
Okay, but momentum's all relevant. And that doesn't mean much if the defense is going to stop you.
Yeah, but if you watch the play, he had a guy wide open. I think I don't want to say two people choking a row, but Cam Newton kind of choked too.
Oh, yeah,
He had that guy wide open. He just threw it too high.
Oh, yeah, it was an awful throw. It was nowhere near a good throw. I just don't know, the momentum. Let's kick the field goal, keep that momentum going into overtime, and try to win this game.
Everybody talks about this 2-point conversion thing. Should you go for it? Should you not? It seems like every time a team goes for it and they don't get it, everybody's going to say, yeah, you shouldn't go for 2. Just kick the field goal, kick the PAT.
I think it depends on the team.
Yeah.
I think it depends on your weapons you have.
I don't have a problem with the Panthers going for 2 in that situation.
But I think they're what are they now? How many? They've lost 4 games on the road, 1-1. Yeah.
Yeah, the road
they already
record's
have
not
bad
great.
luck on the road. I think they use that momentum and go. If they had more weapons, if they were maybe the Rams, the Chiefs, the Saints, or even Tom Brady, who I know can make a throw and not overthrow like that, go for 2. But their momentum was already, I think, taken away in this plus game being on the road.
Yeah, and I was kind of riding high on the Panthers a little bit.
You were riding pretty high.
Not too high. Not too high.
And then the Steelers shut you up.
Yeah.
The Steelers shut you.
Well, I had some faith in them against the Lions, but if they can't beat the Lions, that's a little worrisome for me.
Yeah.
I know it's not worrisome for you because that means the Saints would probably just blow them out.
The Saints would blow them out. That's not an issue.
So yeah, the Lions got to win. It's NFC North. It's still up for grabs. The only team I'd rule out in the NFC North is maybe the Packers, and that's just a mate.
I'd rule out the Lions too.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, if they have to play the Bears, this Thursday will be interesting. Just seeing, if the Bears are down their quarterback, their defense, they'll have to lean on their defense and try to win the field position battle, so they don't have to go as far to kick a field goal or get a touchdown. Really capitalize off the turnovers. So yeah, I think this Thursday game could be really good. Moving on, Redskins, Texans. Texans win. That's their 7th game in a row they've won.
Yeah, they're coming. They're on a roll right now.
Yeah, and remember that stat I told you? The Redskins have never had a lead change.
I remember you saying something about that. Mm-hmm.
There was a lead change this game, so that's now over. But the big story out of this one, Alex Smith's injury, compound fracture. That means the bone was out of the skin. I think he broke his tibia and fibia. So I think there was a similar injury to this last year with that Chicago tight end. And like they thought they were gonna have to amputate his legs. So I'm not even sure if Alex Smith will be back next year at this point.
He got Kevin Ware out there.
Yeah, you could say that.
I most definitely could say that.
But I think now, because of this injury, the NFC East is wide open. And you know who I could see even making a run at this?
Who's that, my man?
Cowboys.
You think so?
Look at the Eagles. We'll talk about them. They're up next. We'll talk about them next.
Oh, I got the Giants.
You got the Giants are going to – I mean, Odell did say that they'll win 7 in a row.
They're coming from the bottom.
But, I mean, I could see – I think it's going to come down to Redskins or Cowboys. I'm not saying – I mean, the winner of this division could have a record of like 9-7 possibly.
Oh yeah, it's probably not going to be. It's not going to be a great record, but I think it's going to be a fight out there at the end.
Yeah, but I'd put the money on the Redskins or Cowboys in this one.
So I still think the Giants, man. You never know.
Well, I mean, Eli has done really good since they said that they need to. Since their coach said that he needs to play better, I think I saw he's thrown maybe 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
He's got the Manning clutchness.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does.
I mean, he's definitely not a bad quarterback.
I'm not sure on that one.
You have to look at all these things. You have to look at how these teams fit their quarterback to their system. I think these guys that are in there, they're always like, oh, they're bad quarterbacks. Are they all bad quarterbacks? Now, maybe Winston. That's a possibility.
Weren't we hating on Eli earlier in the year, though?
No, you were hating probably. I said it's all about fitting the system. It's like the Brady Belichick system.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great quarterback, but the system fits him. The coaching fits him. The play system fits him. His players he's got fits him.
That's debatable.
They do. I mean, I don't know about that. How's that debatable?
All right.
You got Mahomes here, all you on the bandwagon. I'm sorry. He's got, Tyreek Hill. He's got Travis Kelce. He's got Kareem Hunt to go to. He's got people to get the ball to.
How did we get to talking about the Chiefs?
Because I'm talking about it fits him, though. He has guys to go to. He's a great quarterback. He also has great people to go to. He's not out there trying to play for, he's not playing on the Oakland Raiders. Like, that's not who he's trying to be a great quarterback for. He's not doing these things on those teams.
I mean, he does have some. Eli does have some weapons. Saquon and Odell primarily. Maybe Sterling Shepard too, but that's it. I think he's doing good with what he's got.
But I think a lot of it's the system and how it fits, too. I mean, you said before you would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure about the Giants system. If I was them, I'd probably be a run-first team, lean on Saquon heavily, and then,
They do rely pretty heavily on that man.
And then, if you get into a tough spot, you got the veteran Eli Manning to make some plays, make some throws, possibly get you out of these tough situations.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think he has the capability to, put the ball down the field and make plays. He's seen things. He can handle some of the pressure, can move the ball and try to make decisions from things he's seen, in his years in the league.
But how does this? So because of this, you think the Giants are going to somehow win maybe 7 in a row? And win the NFC
dumbass,
East?
I was joking, okay?
All right. I was just checking because that's what got us started on this.
All right, moving on. Anyways.
All right, yeah, moving on. Next, we got Saints Eagles. Saints. It was a slaughter, people. Saints are a wagon, confirmed.
And that wagon is moving.
Yeah, it's a big wagon. It's got some strong horses on it, and it's going downhill.
You're watching that team play. You are watching one of the best offenses play in a long, long time.
I mean, I'm not surprised that the Eagles lost per se.
Well, I'm not saying that.
I'm just surprised about how much they lost by.
As you watch them, and even their offense has to be one of the, best offenses in a while, easily. But they're just getting better and better every game.
I
Everything is so quick, sharp, and fast. Like everything is like almost like perfection. But I mean, everything they do is there's not a lot of mistakes you see on the field.
it's almost like an art form, right? It's almost like seeing art made. It's almost, would you could say it's kind of like watching Bob Ross painting those videos, you know?
I don't watch Bob Ross.
Well,
Paint no fucking images.
you've never watched Bob Ross in art class or something?
I didn't take our class at the choir.
Wow. But yeah,
Anyway, yep.
it's like a word. It's poetry in motion, I would say.
I'm honestly surprised. Even watching their defense now, though, you can like see their defense getting better with each game too. From the beginning of the season to now, their defense is really able to make some stops and some big plays.
I'm really liking their Color Rush uniforms too. Those white ones with the
Oh,
gold.
I was thinking of this weekend. I was like, I need to get me one of those.
I was thinking it too.
I'm gonna be ordering me one here real soon.
Yeah, I got to get me one. But something about the Eagles, I'm not. Their secondary is just torn apart. Did you see their starters in the secondary from week? All right, so the four stars they had week one, they only have one now, and I think they have maybe two rookies starting in the secondary. It's just torn apart. I mean, that's probably why the Saints blew them out for the most part. But they're just missing their chance because I could see. I mean, I'm not going to rule them out of winning the NFC East, but they're missing their chance.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say they missed their chance this game because no matter what, I thought they were going to lose. I saw this as possibly like maybe a 5% chance that it could be a trap game for the Saints, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
that
we
the
said that
Eagles got
before. I
blown
don't.
out. Well, every game now seems
I
like a
don't.
trap game for the Saints because you expect them to win by a lot.
I know, but I think they're just coming out every game now. Sean Payton has an excellent game plan ready for the game. Breeze can make the calls at the line, change it up, audible to something different, reading the defense. And you've got, Kamara, Ingram, Michael Thomas. You had Traquan Smith go off this week and make some big plays for him. And you've got, I said, I feel like every week talking to you, but they've got Taysom Hill. They've got so many different people that are capable of doing their job to perfection.
Yeah, it's beautiful to watch. I love it.
Oh, I love it. I'm eating it.
So we'll keep it in the NFC East for this next one. Cowboys Falcons. Cowboys won. Last second field goal. I was flipping over between the Colts game and this game. So I was kind of impressed by the Cowboys. Pulling out it was pretty clutch. But now the Cowboys are one game back from the Redskins, and with the Redskins starting quarterback out now, Redskins are probably gonna have to start Colt McCoy. I could see the Cowboys taking the lead in this division. Cowboys use Zeke just how I wanted to see.
Like you said, yes.
Yeah, they had 201 scrimmage yards, but like at halftime,
he had a good game.
At halftime, it was I think it was 9-6. It was just a low score kicking battle. But the Cowboys made their adjustments. They somehow scored some touchdowns, and then they walked it off with a field goal.
I didn't get to watch the game, but looking at it and looking at the stats, and maybe you can fill me in, but I don't feel like they're using Amari Cooper like they should be.
I don't think it doesn't look like they trust Dak Prescott as much. I mean, but against the Falcons have one of the worst run defenses in the league. You have to feed Dak. You have to feed Zeke.
Well, they did. I mean, they did feed him. I'm just saying. I mean, he did get, but it's like everything went to him almost. Like, I just feel like they could, in a game like this, you've got Zeke as an option to go to get it, but try to get it out there maybe a little more. See what you can do. Get some practice, get it to Cooper, see what he can do. So you're ready come other games where you can't go such a run-heavy defense.
Yeah,
because if you're looking at a 3rd and 5, feed Zeke the ball. He's probably gonna be able to power through, get you that first down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think after this game, I can rule the Falcons out of playoff contention.
Yeah, they're just kind of, it's like almost like going downhill.
They're just having
slippery slope.
Yeah, they're having a down year. Some first game they had a few defensive injuries, and I think that really, just kind of influenced how the year was going to proceed.
It just seems like offensively they're not putting up things they should be. Doesn't seem like their receivers are doing what they're all capable of doing. You know, they're not getting to the spots they need to for Matt Ryan and stuff, and I just feel like they're kind of just slowly rolling down the hill
Yeah, they're
like a
gonna.
fat kid.
Yeah. That's a pretty good comparison. But I think they're gonna have to figure something out to do this offseason to be competitive in the NFC South.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next one, Colts absolutely murder the Titans.
Yeah, what happened to the Titans? Jesus.
I was watching this game. Colts really impressed me with this game, and it's 5 games now without the offensive line giving up a sack. So
How was that possible? Like, did they
the Colts
switch out people in the
offensive
same?
No, the Colts offensive line's really gelled together. I think they're a complete unit right now. It's actually kind of surprising, but they did
I
lose
don't
their
understand
starting
what
center.
happened.
They did lose
I
their
don't
starting
understand
center.
what happened.
I don't know.
That's my question. Like, what happened where Andrew Luck went from being killed to the ball's just he's throwing the ball and not getting hit?
They might be running quicker routes, getting the ball out quicker, so he doesn't have to sit in the pocket as long. But he did sit in the pocket pretty long for sometimes on Sunday, throwing it downfield to Ty a lot.
Just confused why they didn't do that a long time ago.
But this game can be easily explained. Remember my roller coaster theory?
Oh my God, here we go.
It held up.
I wish this wouldn't have happened. Yes, it worked. I know, you're right.
So I could see the Titans losing their next game, and then they'll start back up.
You do a 2 down? Oh, I got you. I got your roller coaster. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But I ruled the Colts out. Well, I did. I said I don't think the Colts could do good in the playoffs if somehow they make it.
Yeah.
Earlier. I take that back. I'm reconsidering it now.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
I know you're on a hot streak here. You're right about Tennessee, so.
I mean, I could see it now because AFC. I would say the AFC is weaker than the NFC this year. Just looking at it as a whole. So I could see the Colts somehow squeezing in the playoffs, maybe winning a wild card game. All right, because I think Houston will probably win their division. I don't think the Titans will. Jaguars they're trending downward very, very rapidly. So I could see the Colts possibly squeezing in.
I mean, that's not terrible. I just don't know how. I think they're just going to, like I said before, I think what was the last week that I said they were going to run from game to game, physically run? That's the best only run they're going to be making.
No, they're out to shock you, man. But I mean,
I do love a shocker.
They're in too deep now because what are they now? 5-5. So
they are 5-5. Mm-hmm.
They could have just tanked when they were 1-4, 1-3 something.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just tanked and got a really good draft pick.
That is true.
Now they're 5-5. They might as well compete as hard as they can.
Yeah, I think if they keep this up, for all the Colts fans out there talking about this and they're looking out Andrew Luck not being sacked, they're like, yes, I can just hear them. You guys could have done this before instead of just waiting for, Ty to run 30 yards down the field and get himself open and try to lob the ball down there. And by that time, Andrew Luck has got smeared by 3 different defensive linemen. You guys could have done this before. And, I think they're making quicker plays to get the ball out there so he doesn't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like a punching bag for every team that played them. No matter how bad the team was, he just got the shit smacked out of him.
Well, that also goes back to when he first got in the league. You know how he ran it quite a bit during the games, and he even said he liked getting hit on the first play.
Yeah.
Well, I think that shows that he kept getting hit.
That sounds like some stupid shit Chuck Pagano told him to say. Tell him you like getting hit.
Well, I mean, he kept getting hit until he couldn't get hit anymore. He got really hurt, had to sit out a year.
Yeah, no shit. He got hit. He got hit by 300-pound linemen getting drilled every day, and Chuck Pagano's just sitting there with his thumb up his ass, looking around like, yeah, man, I don't know. You gotta sit back there and find somebody open. Ty was only 20 yards down the field.
Well, I think they've started. They've started trying to build up their offensive line. And I think it's finally starting to show. That
was just my rant against Chuck Pagano because I got over him so fast.
Okay.
Oh, you can't say you didn't. The people that was just a shit show.
It was.
Are you keeping him around for sob stories and letting Andrew Luck get his ass smashed?
Next, we'll keep it in the AFC South, is it? With the Steelers, Jags. Steelers somehow came back and won in this one. I thought they were going to lose, most likely, looking at the scores, but they got extremely lucky.
That's like you said. You can't. You know how you said Big Ben died?
Mm-hmm.
What, 2 weeks ago? Last week?
Yeah, he was
And
killed.
you can't. He's revived just like them now. They're on a roll. You can't kill Steelers right now.
Yeah, I mean, he did show his athleticism. He has superior athleticism than anyone on the field with that touchdown run. That's safe
Yeah.
to say. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked like LeBron playing with a bunch of fourth graders.
Anyways, yeah, looking at it, but Big Ben had an okay game. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards. It wasn't the most accurate there on completions. Threw more interceptions than touchdowns this game, but Blake Bortles had an absolutely I would call terrible game.
I'm not surprised.
But I think Fournette really kept him in the game. He had 95 yards, 28 carries, and that was really about the extent of their excitingness. And he also led them in receiving.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's kind of a surprise that the Steelers had to come back and win that.
yeah, I think
honestly,
Big Ben. I think Big Ben had a bad 3 quarters, and that fourth quarter just really saved him.
He was revived. He was revived in the sense of football.
Yes, by the football gods.
Okay, well that got weird, and that's about all I've got on that.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, the Jaguars' offense is mediocre at best. If I was
They
them,
didn't have anything going.
yeah, I mean, but something surprising that I didn't really see. I didn't see a whole lot of James Conner. I didn't see any early stats or highlight plays from him.
25 yards.
Yeah, so I saw he dropped in the closing minutes he dropped a wide open pass. That's about all I saw.
So
but, I mean,
everybody's got a bad game.
The Steelers were down most of the day, so they're probably having to throw it to can't run the ball and burn time off the clock when you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it from that one. Next, we got Bengals Ravens. Joe Flacco out. Bengals somehow managed to lose with Flacco out, but the Bengals.
Did they ever put a line on that?
Yeah, right.
Not a line of Coke, but a line.
Yeah. Right before the game, they announced Flacco was out. I think they took the Ravens were favored. No surprise there. But AJ Green was out.
They had. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but they had a really balanced rushing by Edwards and Jackson.
Yeah.
I thought that was the nice and balanced really helps a ground game like that.
Yeah, Lamar. I think he was impressive, not throwing wise, but running wise in the quarterback role. He surprised me. I thought he did good. I think he's more dangerous running than he is throwing, but I haven't seen a whole lot of his throws. I saw he threw an interception. He had an okay game throwing, but he had a great game running.
Yeah, he threw for 150 yards. I've got it pulled up here, 13 for 19. So whatever, and an interception there. You don't get any points for throwing interceptions. I don't know if quarterbacks know that. I wish they'd stop throwing it.
Yeah, but I don't know how long Flacco will be out. I've heard some reports say that he could be back this week. Some say that he's not going to play the rest of the season.
He'll just roll over and die.
Yeah, but I mean, it works good for AFC North quarterbacks with Big Ben doing that.
Yeah.
So,
but
I can see.
He survived. Everybody, Big Ben's he's a different breed.
He is.
He's a big old head. Big war. I just imagine, just listen to my theory. I've got a theory.
Okay.
Big Ben gets a new house. Has a new house built.
Uh-huh.
Big Ben starts walking around. Big Ben goes upstairs or something,
Mm-hmm.
And one of the doors is just too small. They put in a 34-inch wide door instead of a big 36-inch, and his big wide head just won't fit through it. And then Big Ben just throws a tantrum.
Burns the house down.
Who the hell put in this door? And then he puts on his Will Ferrell costume and hops around.
I won't rule it out.
It's just so big.
Yeah.
You can just see the whole field. His eyes have to be spread so far apart.
That's why he's so good.
Yeah.
But I think back to the Ravens game, if Flacco is out for the rest of the year, Lamar Jackson's running the show, I could see them doing similar to the Seahawks almost. Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson, both, I would say, good running quarterbacks.
Yes. Nothing like no Mike Vick.
No. Oh, no.
I'm reviving somebody. I'm reviving.
No, but I could see the Ravens going pretty run heavy,
I would say, especially with that off the first game, I mean, for what it is, excellent job on the rushing for the quarterback.
Yeah. But something for Cincinnati, they've now lost 4 of their last 5. I won't rule them out because they're still in the hunt, but it's not looking good. I would say they're trending downward.
They're on that roll, the fat kid roll.
Yeah, another one. So next one, we got Broncos Chargers. Broncos won by 1, 23-22. It surprised me.
That did me as well.
That
Yeah,
that ends
absolutely.
the Chargers' 6-game win streak. They lost because of a missed PAT. Badgley kind of screwed him over there, missed that PAT. But, I wouldn't put all the blame on him because I watched Rivers. 3rd down, they try to throw a halfback screen, throws it at the halfback's feet, and he gets really mad at himself, which was kind of funny to watch. Broncos just kind of stole one. Like I said, I think on the preview maybe, Broncos hadn't won like on the road in the AFC West for, I think it was close to 4 years. So this is kind of rather
Yeah, sorry,
surprising.
that's on me again. Yeah, sorry. I know how much you love theories and conspiracies.
Yes.
And like believe in like juju.
Juju.
Oh yeah, like
What's juju?
Oh,
Smith Schuster?
some down home juju. No, some some voodoo doll juju.
Oh shit! I don't believe in that.
Oh, he does, people. He does. Anyways, I think what it was is the Chargers had a bad. They weren't. How do you put it? What did you say earlier? How did you say about the Panthers when they were going for it? They had some. What was the word? Why am I being an idiot right now?
Momentum.
They had some momentum. They didn't have any momentum because they have lost 12 of the last 15 games against Denver.
Yeah, I guess
that was in the back of their
that.
head. I bet the Broncos just sent them a bunch of balloons. They probably sent them they sent them 15 balloons that were. Yeah, I still don't know. Anyways, yeah.
I would venture to say the Chargers were negatively impacted by the California wildfires, and that's why they lost.
There we go.
That makes a lot more sense than anything else.
Sure.
So we'll take a quick glance at the 2 other games. Oakland, Arizona.
Oakland pulling it off.
Yeah, even when they win, I think the Raiders kind of screwed up because this is kind of loser gets the first pick of the draft pretty much, and the Raiders somehow screwed that up. So it looks like the Cardinals could get the first pick. I would say the Cardinals are smart for losing this game.
You want to know something? This is a little off topic with what you just said, but when I'm looking writing down some notes and some important things, when we put down some cool facts and shit. Mm-hmm. And usually the apps would tell you the main headline, let's say for the Ravens Bengals, Lamar Jackson, 2nd most rush yards by a rookie QB since 1970. Some halfway relevant things.
Yeah.
This game was so bad. Daniel Carlson hit game-winning 35-yard field goal. I get it's what won him. It's a 35-yard. There was nothing better in that entire game. That is your headlining statement.
It's I would say bottom 2 teams in the league.
I know, but I'm
so,
just it's bad when that's your Jesus.
So yeah, Raiders screwed up even when they won. So that's all I got for that one.
Yeah, let's just keep moving.
Next we got Bucks Giants. Giants are now on a 2-game win streak. I know you're riding them, McAdams. You're riding them hard. Eli's bouncing back.
No, do not put that out there. I'm going to have to defend myself the rest of the season.
So Eli's bouncing back pretty well. Saquon's still a beast. And I didn't even realize McAdams, but guess what I wrote down in my notes?
What is that?
Could possibly make a run at NFC East.
See, so don't be talking shit. You hear that? If people have made it this far. Clark, you hypocrite.
Okay. I think we can calm down a little bit. And
say it. A hypocrite. Don't try to blame this on me and say calm down. I'm being calm.
I forgot to look at my notes.
See, so don't change your mind. Change your mind. AKA hypocrite. Anyways, moving on. Now that my point is clear.
So your guy Fitzpatrick, he got benched for Jameis. So when you get benched for Jameis, things are in chaos mode pretty much. Apocalypse mode.
Bucks Giant. Seriously? I didn't get to watch the game, but Fitzpatrick gets fucking benched after 3 interceptions, but we leave old Winston in until he can throw 4 in a game?
Well, they're setting the bar higher now that,
knocking it down by 1. Then we're going to get down to 2. So we're just going to switch quarterbacks more often.
Well, the Buccaneers still only lost by 3, so.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's all the NFL recap for this week. We're going to take a look at the playoff picture now, starting with the NFC. Right now it's Saints at 1, Rams 2, Bears 3, Redskins at 4, Panthers at 5, and Vikings at 6. But you still have the Seahawks, Cowboys, Packers, Falcons, and Eagles in the hunt. What do you think,
Packers are
McAdams?
no longer in the hunt. We've already
Okay.
talked about this.
I would venture to say that all four of those teams that besides the Packers are still really in the hunt. Like you can say teams are in the hunt because technically no team's eliminated from the playoffs yet.
No, exactly. No, but I don't think. I think they're on a downward spiral here. They're trying to, not like when they're going to just smack the bottom, but I think they're going to have some trouble.
Yeah,
They can't make any clutch plays, moves, and when they need to, it's going to be their issue.
I could see the Seahawks sneaking in and taking either the Panthers or Vikings spot, and possibly Cowboys Redskins flipping. But
I'm interested to see the Vikings.
and then in the NFC, we got Chiefs at 1, Steelers at 2, Patriots 3, Texans 4, Chargers 5, and Ravens at 6.
Mm-hmm.
But in the hunt, we still have the Bengals, Dolphins, Colts, Titans, Broncos, and Browns. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
I could
I'm
see
interested about the Ravens.
Yeah, I could see the
Lamar
Ravens.
Jackson, I think,
I could
can
see the
help
Ravens.
that out.
I don't know. I could see the Ravens kind of dropping out because I don't think they're.
Really?
I think Steelers are going to win the AFC North. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the Colts possibly sneaking in there if the Chargers, if their momentum
Mm-hmm.
slows down off this loss.
I'm just curious to see how Lamar Jackson helps him. If he can, make some good throws still, but can really help balance out a run game where they have to watch him more on sneaking up for a 3-4 yard gain on a play, I think that could help them.
I don't. You have to keep in mind he is still a rookie. He might have some. He might have
But
some pains.
but Mahomes, everybody says,
This is his second year. He had a year to learn under Alex Smith.
still a rookie.
Okay, but the Dolphins are somehow in like 8th place in the AFC. I don't believe that. I think they'll drop out of playoff contention.
Yeah.
So that would move the Colts up. I don't think the Bengals and Ravens are pretty close. But now that the Ravens beat them, that's got the Bengals trending downward.
Uh-huh.
So I think for the most part that one's going to stay the same as it is. Possibly Colts getting in there, Ravens dropping out, but maybe Chargers dropping out. But I think that's pretty much the law.
I would agree with you.
Some final NFL news. Did you see this, McAdams? The Browns, Adam Schefter reporting that who they wanted to interview for head coach.
No, I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry, blanked.
What would compel them to interview Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, if I believe?
Yes, under George W. Bush.
Debbie.
I think what I read was her leadership ability,
Well, I did see.
which is a good point. I don't think a head coach position in an organization where that should be used at. Maybe possibly somewhere higher up, like in
like a GM or something.
GM somewhere possibly. When it comes down to managing the entire organization, head coach and making plays, no, absolutely not.
The only two reasons that I've seen so far as to why they would interview Condoleezza Rice. Number one, she has season tickets to Stanford football games. Not sure how that really plays into it. And two, she was on the college football playoff committee. That may play a little bit in it, but I don't see why she would be interviewed for a head coach position in the NFL for that. But both the Browns and her have denied it. So I could believe this though. I believe that they actually wanted to interview Condoleezza Rice. I've heard a lot crazier things.
Speaking of that, on why they would want her, it's kind of like the whole Hugh Jackson thing and why they wanted him. Now, he did have more, but I'm just saying, clearly they have had some issues in picking some coaches. And so maybe they're trying to stay on that trend.
Possibly, maybe they're thinking, well, nothing else is working, so let's just go get a woman that's never coached football before and throw her in there and see what happens.
Well, I think they owe like $63.5 million anyways to old coaches.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how much they owe Hugh Jackson or whatever. I don't know all that, but they're like, well, fuck it, we might as well go ahead and throw some more money away.
So that's all the NFL news recaps we got for this week. Let's take a look at some college football. First game we got up, Syracuse lost to Notre Dame, 36-3. A big part of this big loss is because their quarterback Dungy, he got hurt. I heard reports it could be a pinched nerve.
Oh,
He got hurt pretty early. It looked like he was having trouble with his back and hip. So people were saying it was a pinched nerve. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything on what it was yet. But that hurt them a lot because they were putting up a lot of points with him. So after he went out, that offense just kind of went to hell.
yeah, I think that's Notre Dame doing Notre Dame things this year, though, too, on top of that. Like, I think they still would have easily won that game for the most part.
Yeah, I kind of expected them to win big, but maybe not like 36-3 big. Like I thought it may have been
not
like
that big, but
possibly like 36-14 maybe.
something 36-21, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
36-17. But I think they're kind of on a roll by far.
Yeah. But Notre
Right
Dame, they have to go to USC this weekend. Last regular season game, they're an independent. They don't have a conference championship game, so if they win at USC, they're pretty much locked into the college football playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possible trap game, but I don't think USC will give much trouble. They're having one of their worst years since I think like 2000. I don't think they're going to a bowl this year. I'm predicting a blowout for Notre Dame.
Yeah, trap games this year haven't seemed to be going the way they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
At least in the NFL, so we'll have to see. But like you said, I don't think they'll give them too much trouble.
No. So next we got Ohio State, Maryland. Ohio State won 52-51 in overtime.
Oh my God, that game was something else.
It was entertaining to watch. Ohio State looked awful. Their defense looked like they got bullied. Their defensive line, I think it was their strength going in. But it was just getting straight up bullied and harassed by Maryland's O-line.
It was just something else. I don't know, watching it, like, at the beginning, like, I was sitting there, we went to, this is not an ad, we went to B-Dubs, because they have the new $5 pitchers and $5 meals on game day.
Really?
Whatnot. Yes, they do.
Ooh.
$5 burger and fries, $5 fries and
$5 pitcher?
And $5 pitchers, yes.
Whoa.
They're only 38 ounces. This is not an advertisement. This sounds like an advertisement. Anyways, moving on.
No free ads.
At the beginning of the game, Haskins was not looking so hot.
Mm-mm.
Some of the reads he was doing and his throw, I think he ended up 28-38. I think his first 10 attempts that he missed were at the beginning of the game. Because he was just, I don't know, it looked like he was just going through the motions. Like, I would watch him, and it was like, when he was doing like read options and stuff, it was just like do, and it was just awful. And I was watching; they were showing Urban Meyer on the sideline, and he looked like he was about to die. I thought he was gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah,
but he ended up with 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So he had a hell of a game. But at the beginning, on his side, I thought it looked awful.
Yeah, Ohio State just looked awful in general, and now they're heading into the big rivalry game with Michigan this week. I think Michigan stands a chance of blowing them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a prediction for you.
Okay.
Urban Meyer will step down after this season.
He has had a lot of stuff going on.
I know, and I don't think he's enjoying it as much anymore.
He was not enjoying that game.
No, I think he's tired of it. He would much rather do something else and be under a high stress environment like that. So I think he'll step down after this year
and get in other scandals.
I think he'll accept it. He might go to like ESPN or Fox Sports or something like that. But yeah, I don't think he'll stay there another year.
I almost feel like it's in his blood, though.
Well, he stepped away earlier in his career, and he came back, but
he came back.
Yeah, but because he said he missed it. I don't think if he stepped away now he'd miss it too much with how he looked on Saturday.
That's only one game. I don't know. I just feel like he stepped away, came back. It may be in his blood, bub. Little footballs, no hemoglobin, just footballs.
True football, man.
That's my theory for you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So next we got Oklahoma State, West Virginia. Oklahoma State upset in Stillwater, 45-41. So now I think West Virginia is out of the playoff race. I mean, Oklahoma State, they're dangerous at home. They beat Texas at home, West Virginia at home. It's hard to bet against Oklahoma State at home.
And on the rushing side, they've got they got love Hubbard, Cornelius. They were pretty balanced. 26 attempts, 134 yards. 13 attempts for Cornelius, 106 yards. I mean, able to rush the ball there. Two weapons to use.
Staying in the Big 12, we got Kansas, Oklahoma. Kansas lost 40-55, but I would say they won the week. Announced they hired Les Miles as head coach.
I think that'll be a pretty good fit for them. I think they may be able to get them things going here in the future.
I would say one of the top hires they could have got because he's all in. I can tell he missed football. He missed the coaching thing of it. But here's the thing. He's a big defensive guy, focusing on the defensive side of the ball when he was at LSU, making those really good defenses at LSU. I'll be interested to see how he does in the Big 12 because of how much the offenses explode in that. Because you saw the score of this game, 40-55.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how his defense does in it.
Yeah, if he can get some stops and stuff too and get that defense to kick it up a notch and stuff, it'll be interesting to see if they can bring, their opponent's score down on that end and kind of get that score to a comparable level to where they can compete.
Yeah, but speaking on Oklahoma for a second, I think this game is a good example of why Oklahoma shouldn't be in the college football playoffs. Giving up 40 points to Kansas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think their defense is awful, and they haven't beat a top 25 team all year. There's no evidence to why they should be in the college football playoff.
They gave up 23 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were doing 7-3, 7, and then 20. They just gave it up. Did they get tired?
Well, how many did they score in the fourth quarter?
They put up 20 points. I'm not saying that, but to give up just 23 points in the fourth quarter, what happened?
They might have been playing their subs. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch the game.
I did not get to watch it either, so that's what I'm curious about. But I mean, either way, putting up 40 points. So, but to your statement, then, if you say they shouldn't be in the playoffs for letting 40 points, they only let them put up 17 points in 3 quarters.
I just don't think they're that. I think their defense is overrated, and they haven't beat a top 25 team all year. So what makes you think that they could beat a top 4 team in the playoffs?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you're saying they're playing their subs and it's okay for them to put up 23 points, then that's why, because they only put up 17 over 3 quarters. So let's say if they had their, first string in the entire time. So that's the point. Or if you're not saying that, then 23 points is ridiculous, and you're exactly right.
I just don't think Oklahoma should be in the playoffs.
We'll just be consistent here. We already know you're a hypocrite.
False.
True. Moving on.
We got Texas 24, Iowa State 10. Herman hooked them, fair to say. Texas is heading towards the Big 12 title game.
With all the stress.
Yeah, but they did lose their quarterback, Sam Ehlinger. He's out with a shoulder injury. Not sure when he'll be back, so that's kind of a blow to them. But
yes,
Texas kind of riding high. Herman's hooking them. Everything's okay, cool. Hook them there.
Okay, hook them.
In our final college game, we got Cincinnati 13, UCF 38. I was kind of surprised by UCF here. I thought Cincinnati would put up a better fight, but here's my opinion, all right? Ready for this, McAdams?
Always.
Everybody's talking about if UCF should be in the playoffs or not. I say let them in, because, if you let them in, watch them play against, say, Alabama, Clemson, or Notre Dame, we'll see if they're legit. It's a sink or swim scenario. I think they have a better shot at competing than, say, Oklahoma, because UCF has top 25 wins. Oklahoma doesn't. And I think, like last year, UCF beat Auburn, and it was a good game, but I think that, that UCF team might have been okay in the playoffs. They might have still lost to Georgia or Alabama, but I think they would have held their own.
Yeah, so I guess if that's the way, let them in, let's see how they do, and you'll see.
Well, they've won 23. They've won 23 in a row. I think it's fair to just, let them in.
Yeah.
Over a one-loss Michigan team per se, because they've won 23 in a row.
Yeah, get them. Yeah. I mean, they're going to either sink or they're going to fight and they're going to swim.
Yeah. I mean, once you're in the playoff, you're on national TV. You can't hide then.
Exactly.
Yep. So
But what this
that's
game? Oh, national television.
well, yeah, but
Yes,
like, not a lot
I
of
know.
people. Like, I don't
No,
even.
it's
I
not
don't
a lot of
watch. I
people.
don't go out of my way to watch UCF games.
You don't? Oh, that's all
No.
you watched. Oh, okay.
So that's all the college football. It's time for some segments. Are you ready, Garrett?
No, I'm gonna go through this because some of this stuff does not make me happy.
Alrighty. All right. First one, we got Crown the King. Who are we crowning king this week, McAdams?
I'm crowning Mr. Tyreek Hill for the Chiefs. While they may have not won the game, of course, he did an excellent job for me. Brought me down from about a 2% chance winning on my fantasy team up to 3 points within winning the game. If that pass would have been completed to him, had they went to overtime, probably would have won. So it's going to him.
Yeah. Is that all you got for this week?
I've got one on there, yes, sir.
Alrighty, I got a couple. Kenny Galladay, Lions receiver, came through for me in the clutch, but dropped about 25, helped me get that win. Shout out to the Rams defense, get me about 20, helping me come through with that win. Like you said, Tyreek Hill dropped massive load of points. How many did he drop?
I think it was 44 for me.
Yeah, it was nice. And two more. I got the entire Colts and Saints teams just absolutely balling on a budget, you could say.
I don't. Yeah, sure. I don't know about the balling on a budget part, but yeah, they going.
I mean, they do have a budget. I mean, they have limited cap room. That is a
Shut
budget.
up.
That is a
Shut
budget.
up.
All
Shut
right.
up.
Next, we got dunce cap. Who's got the dunce cap this week, McAdams?
For me, it's the Panthers. The entire team.
Okay.
They lost to the Lions. They had momentum. They're getting the dunce cap.
I got two for the dunce cap. I got Fitzpatrick. It's an automatic dunce cap if you get benched for Jameis Winston. All right. No ifs,
Nope.
ands, or buts.
I don't agree.
Okay.
He threw less interceptions. There is something going on there.
I'm still giving it to Fitzpatrick. Throw Jameis in there. That's you're getting a dunce cap if you get benched for Jameis. That's just my rule. All right.
Well, not if there's something behind it.
Okay. And dunce cap on the Eagles secondary, just letting Drew Brees pass with ease. Come on, you got to fix that.
Fair enough.
So, do we got any beef this week, McAdams?
Yeah, I do. Me and the Texans.
You and the Texans?
Did not even look. Not even look at Demaryius Thomas. Did not use him. I don't understand. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I got some beef with somebody you might have mentioned earlier, Devin Funchess, wide receiver for the Panthers. I started him. He was projected around 20. He gave me 5 points, man. Like what the hell? What the hell are you doing, man?
But that's a different. But my God, they didn't even look at Demaryius. But I understand.
I also wrote down I got beef with Big Ben. I'm trying to remember why though.
I can't tell you, Bob. I don't know.
I can't remember it either. But Big Ben, we got beef. I'll talk to you later about that.
You call him up on his rotary phone?
Yeah, I'll have to send him a letter or something.
All right, Clark. We got to get to this next part because I'm a little upset with how I did.
All right, let's look at the bets we made.
I'm wanting to get it over.
How'd your bets do, McAdams?
All right, well, I got Rams Chiefs over. That was easy. Not a problem. Got it. The next three listed on this page that I have in the order I read them. Chiefs win by the spread. Nope. Nothing like that good interception that Mr. Mahomes throws. So you can add him onto who I'm beefing with because now I'm a little upset about that. I don't know why he just didn't throw the ball out of bounds, go somewhere else. Why he tried to go that deep. I don't know what he saw. The Bucks Giants under. I can't remember what the under was, but I think it was like far less than what they scored combined. Underdogs had that with the Chiefs. Nope, that was wrong. But the Saints, my lock was the Saints under 56.5. Coming in clutch combined total points was at 55.
Whoa.
Right? Yes, 55. So they came in just right.
All right, for my bets,
So, 2 for 5.
That's not terrible. We had a few good weeks there.
Yeah, I guess so, but I'm still upset.
Okay.
Chiefs could have won that. That would have been fucking hot.
We'll bounce back. We'll get on a heater and we'll ride it.
I'd have been poor. All right, we'll get that heater going.
So for my bets, I took Chiefs as underdogs. Wrong. I had spread pick Titans plus 1.5. That was wrong. The over, I took Houston, Washington over 42.5. And that was, so Houston, Washington over 42.5. Barely hit at 44. Good on that one. I had the under of Broncos, Chargers under 46.5. Barely clocked in on that one too at 45. And my lock, Seahawks covered against the Packers. So I went 3 for 5. Not a bad week. Finished in the green.
Yeah,
so,
not a bad week. Huh?
Not a terrible week, I would say. We
finished, you're over half.
Combined, we finished 500. So, what's your regrets of the week, McAdams?
Honestly, a little bit. One of my regrets this week was hopping on the the Mahomes bandwagon last week, kind of, and thinking the Chiefs as a whole were going to be able to take this game against the Rams, and putting some of my bets on that one there. Let's see, 2 of those were wrong with that, so that put me 4 for 5 had I not done that. So a little bit, he didn't come in too clutch there at the end for me, so that's a little bit upsetting.
Yeah.
My other one was playing Demaryius Thomas this week, who came in with 0 points for me and taking out Mr. Traquan Smith, who had an awesome week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went off.
He had a record-setting career for him. Game.
So for my regrets, they all deal with gambling. Regret taking the Titans plus 1.5. That was kind of a dumb move. I took the Bengals as plus 225 underdogs, straight money line. They kind of screwed that one up for me. And now I figure out why I put Big Ben as on my beef, and because I have the Steelers as one of my regrets of the week. Big Ben strung together, I would say, possibly 3 of the worst quarters you could have, and somehow still managed to win, but he didn't cover. So, Big Ben, what the hell, man?
Well, we found the beef.
Yeah. We found the beef, all right.
That's what Rock Hurley would say, where's the beef?
So I think that's about it for this episode. You got anything to add, McAdams?
No, I think that's about it. I think I spoke my beef and put out my lovely opinions.
Alrighty, well, that's all from me. Thanks for listening, guys. We got another episode coming this week. All right, we got another episode coming this week. The preview for the upcoming week. Be sure to
stay tuned.
Out. Give us a follow on all of our social media, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Peace.